Alright guys, so I'm a website designer for the chapter and my presentation is going to be about website and building meaningful websites. I guess most of you must have known me talking about neuro design these days, and that is something that I want to focus on for next 8 minutes. So 94% of the first impressions on the website is design related. I don't know how many of you know that, and you just get 5 seconds to make your visitors stay on your website and take action. If you miss this, your visitors are gone, no engagement, no leads, no business. So that's what I'm going to focus on. How can you drive engagement? So first, let me deep dive into a bit of the definition of neuro design, because it might sound a bit scientific. So it combines neuroscience with cognitive psychology to create a seamless user experience. That's what you need when your visitors land on your website, that guides visitors to a desired action. It can be taking a click on your newsletter, building up a form, or doing anything like some kind of action. And that's exactly what neuro design teaches. But let me also talk about neuroscience, because if you don't know this, you won't be able to understand what is neuro design. So it focuses primarily on the study of the brain, its cognitive functions, and the impact it has on the way a person, or a website visitor in your case, behaves when they are on your website. And what is cognitive psychology? I know everyone knows this, but it analyzes how we as a person and individual think, feel, understand, learn, make decisions, and remember things. And again, you need to understand who your users are and how they act and how they behave, so that you can try and create something which helps you to engage with your users. A lot has changed since 1990 when internet came into the place, and a lot is changing every single day, right? Everything is getting connected digitally. You need to understand, you need to learn this. A lot of information is floating around. Our body gets about 2 billion bits per second of sensory inputs, but our brain can only process 10 bits per second. So you imagine how crowded mentally your users are when they land on your website. Smartphones, it has taken over our life, right? We are always on the phone. AI and automation, again, creating a lot of noise. Of course, it's good, but there are also some side effects. So you need to understand how wisely you can use AI and automation. And then, of course, we are used to multitasking, which is not recommended. It definitely affects your brain, because our brain is not trained or wired to do multitasking. Again, something which we all know, because we all have a phone and we are always surrounded by different types of notification, right? Always some kind of notification popping in, and this kind of creates a cognitive load on your brain, because you don't know what to do, where do you want to focus on. And that's one of the reasons why it is changing the entire game, okay? So cognitive load is nothing but the total mental effort your brain needs to put in when you're looking at any particular thing. Basically, you want to focus and give attention to something. So how has this impacted users? Of course, there is a brain drain, because a lot of information, cognitive load. If you talk about attention, you can't focus on one thing. We are always thinking multiple things while we are focusing and doing something. Digital amnesia, we are kind of used to clicking on save and search. We don't like to memorize things now, right? We always save something which you want to refer in future rather than memorizing. It's definitely affecting the long-term memory. If you go back and just think about it once, you will know that, oh, I read something, but I don't know where, right? That's where we are right now. And concentration. Everyone is struggling with concentration. You can't concentrate. So these are some of the challenges of this technology-based environment and digitalization. What's really happening right now is, from website and users' point of view, the attention span is getting shorter and shorter. Literally, like, the attention span has gone down to 5 seconds, right? So if your website doesn't make sense instantly, people leave quietly. You just have 5 seconds to create that impression. Buyers are getting smarter and more selective. They compare, they cross-check, and the statistic says when you talk to your prospect, they are already at 56% of buying journey, means they have done all their research before even you talk to them. So you need to understand these things so that you are prepared to kind of convince them. Every industry feels crowded, because when everything looks similar, trust becomes the deciding factor, because so many people, they use AI, they use DIY tools, they use Canva, something like that, to create designs, and it gives generic templates, and you really want to stand out so that you are different. And of course, AI, it has raised a lot of noise, a lot of data is being floating around, and there is no meaning, there are no emotions. And the statistics say that only 68.3% of what comes out of AI or ChatGPT is true. Okay, so you really need to learn these things, understand these things, and then adapt and kind of do something to engage with your users. Now, common website mistakes which we have seen, and which I guess you will be also recognizing. Think about your website while I'm talking about this. I've left a flyer on your table which talks about visible and invisible mistakes. Visible can be seen by everyone, invisible cannot be seen by everyone. Websites are not converting, biggest challenge. Brands are feeling scattered, too many messages, different visuals, no consistency. Designs are blending instead of standing out because your designs are generic. You're using Canva or DIY tools. It's affecting your conversion rate, it's affecting your SEO ranking, bounce rates are increasing, engagement is not there, customer acquisition cost is skyrocketing. We always talk about these challenges with our marketing agencies, right? But you need that. Now look at this example. Too crowded, too many things, can't focus. Another example. Yeah, so neurodesign, basically how neurodesign can be used in a website design. Basically it talks about going beyond aesthetics, talking about meaningful designs, talking about how you can grab users' attention faster, reduce their frustration while they are on your website, and significantly increase conversion and user engagement. And I guess that's what we all need as a business owner. And that's why we have websites, which is a digital heart of any business. And that's what we apply in website design when we create websites for our customers. Certain principles, I'm not going to focus on everything today, just a couple of them I'll touch upon. Visual hierarchy, like look at this. You will read this first and then you will read this. You'll probably read this before the paragraph. So this is all about visual hierarchy. It directs users' attention to key information that you would like to focus your business on. You really need to understand the visual hierarchy. Second is color psychology. We all know there are different colors attached with different kind of emotions. You should know what colors you should use on your website in your designs because it triggers subconscious emotional responses, right? If you mess up with the colors, trust me, it's going to hurt you. And when the user lands on the website, there are just two ways their eyes are going to float, which is called as F pattern and Z pattern. If it's a text heavy website, users are going to normally flow this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If there are a lot of visuals, they will flow like this. That's how the human brain and the eyes work. So you need to figure out what pattern you need to use. For minimalism, look at this. It's not crowded, just one message. You can focus on one thing rather than getting lost, right? You need to focus on having minimalist designs. Again, a very good example of social proofing. It should be on your home page. Articles are not articles, your testimonials, client logos, some statistics. These are more examples of neurodesign principles. We can talk about it later. So your buyers are actually looking if they can trust your business, can they understand you, can they feel established, confident and professional of your business. If not, then they are not going to engage. And your modern website should focus on reducing confusion, guide attention, build credibility, answer key questions immediately. These are some of the case studies. I'm going to skip because I'm running out of time. Let me go on the portfolio of the work we have done. These are some of the achievements we got. Yeah. So these are my work that we have done and website of ACC Construction, Kingfisher Engineers, Joe Insurance. Then we have website of Meenal, she is here with us today. So these are some of the examples of meaningful websites we have done. So if you really would like to learn more about how to create websites, please come and talk to us and we'll be more than happy to discuss how we can apply neurodesign principles to your website. Thank you.
Fantastic. Alrighty.